Shabbat Shalom. Kol ha-neshama tehalleluya, hallelujah. Kol ha-neshama tehalleluya, Begin with a poem entitled The New Colossus by Emma Lazarus in honor of July 4th, Independence Day. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land, here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep ancient lands your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore, send these the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Ramemu, page 17. Ramemu, Adonai Eloheinu, v'nishtachvu le'hakodecho. Ramemu, Adonai Eloheinu, v'nishtachvu le'hakodecho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachvu le'hakodecho. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachvu le'hakodecho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu. Exalt Adonai our God and bow toward God's holy hill, for Adonai our God is holy. Page 20, Boi Kala. Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Beloved, come to meet the bride. Beloved, come to greet Shabbat. We continue our prayers in Kabbalat Shabbat with Mizmor Shir, page 22.
Mizmor Shir le'yom HaShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon again. Mizmor Shir le'yom HaShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon.
Page 26, the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash merama,
Amein.
ve'amad yivarach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei,
B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'b'chayetecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, u'vizman kariv, v'maru, Amein. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam u'lol me'omaya, yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yidroman v'yidnasei, v'yitladar v'yithalei v'yithalal, shemei kodesha
Berechu.
le'elam im kol brachata v'shirata.
Tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran ve'alma, v'maru, Amein. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. The Baruch Hu are called to worship, found on page 28.
Baruch Ata Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, le'olam va'ed.
Page 30, ma-ariv Aravim as evening falls. We welcome the cool air. We welcome the scent of the trees and the flowers that linger after the sun has set.
Blessed is the one who makes the evening fall. Blessed is the Spirit who guides us all. Blessed is the one who makes the evening fall. Blessed is the Spirit who guides us all. Baruch Ata Adonai ma-ariv, Aravim. Baruch Ata Adonai ma-ariv, Aravim. Shechinah, Shechinah, Shechinah. Blessed is the one who makes the evening fall. Blessed is the Spirit who guides us all. Blessed is the one who makes the evening fall. Blessed is the Spirit who guides us all. Baruch Ata Adonai ma-ariv, Aravim. Baruch Ata Adonai ma-ariv, Aravim. Shechinah, Shechinah, Shechinah.
When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives, and we can begin to change the world, and then you live within our hearts, and we through righteousness behold your presence. As we chant together the Shema, we take a breath. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Our service continues with the Ve'ahavta, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha ukashartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hoseiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem l'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
I came so long and so far, and yet all I can do is stand here planted at the shores of the sea. Is my life worth nothing when I am standing still, looking out into the further and with the memory of all that life back there? Redemption's road is winding, waiting, calling me home, but not quite yet, because in this year of my birth I am for the first time awake and not asleep. And when I stare into life this time, I won't ever forget. Michamocha, page 40.
Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot oseh pele, no ra tehilot oseh pele, malchutecha ra'u v'anecha, pokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zeli anu ve'amru Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch leolam vaed.
Hashkivenu, found on page 42, our prayer for the night.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ta'amidenu Shomreinu Lechaim Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Ushmar Tzedenu Uvoenu Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha Ushmar Tzedenu Uvoenu Baruch Ata Adonai Hapores Sukkot Shalom Alein ve'hakomo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim Amen.
Once a Hasidic Rebbe went to collect tzedakah at the house of an infamously wealthy but selfish and lonely person. "Will you give something for the poor?" asked the Rebbe. "For the poor? Why doesn't anyone ever think of me? All anyone wants is my money. But I worked hard for it and I'm keeping it for myself." The Rebbe said, "Go to the glass window and tell me what you see." The rich person described the people in the street. Then the Rebbe picked up a looking glass and held it to his face. "Now what do you see?" The man answered, "Why, I see only myself." The Rebbe replied, "That is your lesson for today. Look at the silver mirror and you can only see yourself. Take away the silver and you can see through the glass to the rest of the community. Perhaps then they will see you and care about you as well." Vishamru, our prayer for Shabbat.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat b'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue with the Amidah, the Tefillah, found on page 46. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach.
Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufiyah Tehillatech Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Gula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham, Yezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim, Ata Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verovei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Ne'emanata l'chayot metim, Baruch Ata Adonai, Mechayei hametim. Ratzo Vashov, ebb and flow, Ratzo Vashov, ebb and flow, Ratzo Vashov, ebb and flow, Ratzo Vashov, ebb and flow. Here I am again for the very first time, Ratzo Vashov, ebb and flow. Here I am again and again, Ratzo Vashov, ebb and flow. Where have I been? Where am I going to? Counting the days to the ebb and flow. Where have I been? Where am I going to? Counting the days to the ebb and flow. Ratzo Vashov, ebb and flow. Ratzo Vashov, ebb and flow.
Take a few moments for the prayers of our hearts. We continue on page 62 with Oseh Shalom to a tune you will know.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, ya-aseh Shalom Alein ve'al kol Yisrael. Amein. May peace established high above dwell deep within our hearts. With godly care our world repair. Amen.
We reach for you, our God, from our quiet places. May we stand still for a brief moment and listen to the rain. Stand still for a brief moment and watch the play of sunlight and shadow on the leaves. For a brief moment, listen to the world. We offer prayers for those in our lives who are in need of healing, physical, spiritual, emotional. And I imagine we are all in need of some healing at this time in this world. So let us join together, let us raise our voices in song. Healing Circle.
Elna Rafana La, Elna Rafana Lo, Elna Rafana La, Rafua Shlema, Elna Rafana La, Elna Rafana Lo, Elna Rafana La, Rafua Shlema. Life is a circle, love is the song, peace is the story we've yearned for so long. When we surrender to God in all things, the circle is completed. Our hearts are blessed with wings. Elna Rafana La, Elna Rafana Lo, Elna Rafana La, Rafua Shlema.
A Jew in a waistcoat, knee breeches, holding a shotgun. Many adult Jewish males took part in the Revolutionary War, from fighting to financing. A few were royalists, but most American Jews supported the fight for independence. In 1774, Francis Salvador, a recent arrival from England, was elected to the first provincial Congress in Charleston, making him the first professed American Jew to hold such a high elective office. Chaim Solomon, a Polish-born Jew, acted as a secret agent in British-occupied New York City. After fleeing to Philadelphia in 1778 to escape arrest, his financial skills helped rescue the Continental government. In 1784, he stated in print, "I am a Jew. I do not despair that we shall obtain every privilege we aspire to enjoy, along with our fellow citizens." Known as George Washington's right-hand man, Colonel Isaac Franks provided his home in Germantown, Pennsylvania, to the future first president when on his way to the Third Continental Congress in Philly, the yellow fever epidemic hit. In a great parade in Philadelphia in 1788 to honor Pennsylvania's ratification of the U.S. Constitution, the cantor of the synagogue marched arm in arm with two clergymen. At the public feast that accompanied the celebration, there was a table with kosher food that, according to one participant, consisted of soused salmon bread and crackers, almonds, raisins, and more. When George Washington was elected the first president of the newly formed Republic of the United States, Jewish leader Gershom Mendes Seixas, Chazan of New York's Jewish congregation, was one of 14 religious leaders who attended his inauguration. On this July 4th, we are proud of our people and their contributions to this great nation, even as we continue to offer our support, our dedication, and our commitment to fighting the wrongs, protesting the evils, and supporting those leaders whose mission is to fortify and empower democracy in America. It is with a clear understanding that we acknowledge that we have much work to do standing on the shoulders of the great Jewish American citizens who came before. We are proud and we are humble, and we will continue to heed the words of Pirkei Avot. it is incumbent upon us to continue the work, though it may be in our children's and grandchildren's hearts to complete it. Happy July 4th. Be safe in your celebrations. Our service continues with the Alein,
page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד.
We continue with Kaddish. Found on page 294. We think of our loved ones whom death has taken recently from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We join together.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru, Amein. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ul'omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amein. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amein. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya-aseh Shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amein.
Zichronam livracha, we remember them. Zichronam livracha, we remember them. Zichronam livracha, we remember them. Zichronam livracha, we remember them.
Before we conclude, I'd like to share a prayer for our country by Rabbi Ayelet Cohen. Our God and God of our ancestors, bless this country and all who dwell within it. Help us to experience the blessings of our lives and circumstances, to be vigilant, compassionate, and brave. Strengthen us when we are afraid. Help us to channel our anger so that it motivates us to action. Help us to feel our fear so that we do not become numb. Help us to be generous with others so that we raise each other up. Help us to be humble in our fear, knowing that as vulnerable as we feel, there are those at greater risk, and that it is our holy work to stand with them. Help us to taste the sweetness of liberty, to not take for granted the freedoms won in generations past or in recent days, to heal and nourish our democracy, that it may be like a plant watered, a tree planted by the water whose roots reach down to the stream. It need not fear drought when it comes. Its leaves are always green. Source of all life, guide our leaders with righteousness. Strengthen their hearts, but keep them from hardening, that they may use their influence and authority to speak truth and act for justice. May all who dwell in this country share in its bounty, enjoy its freedoms, and be protected by its laws. May this nation use its power and wealth to be a voice for justice, peace, and equality for all who dwell on earth. May we be strong and have courage to be bold in our actions and deep in our compassion, to discern when we must listen and when we must act, to uproot bigotry, intolerance, misogyny, racism, discrimination, and violence in all its forms, to celebrate the many faces of God reflected in the wondrous diversity of humanity, to welcome the stranger and the immigrant, and to honor the gifts of those who seek refuge and possibility here, as they have since before this nation was born. Let justice well up like waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream. And let us say, Amen. We conclude,
Hal'luyah Ivdu Avdei. Praise the eternal, you servants of God. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Ivdu Avdei Adonai. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Ivdu Avdei Adonai. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Ivdu Avdei Adonai. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Adonai. Hallelujah, 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 Adonai. Hallelujah, 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 Adonai. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Adonai. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Adonai.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.